So, when you think about freedom in Berlin, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Is it the fall of the wall, or maybe some of the city's huge monuments? Well, today we're going to dig into a really beautiful piece by Augusto González Pradillo that argues the real soul of Berlin's freedom isn't in the history books, but in these tiny, fleeting moments of everyday life on a subway train.
The author, who's a journalist with a really sharp eye for detail, kicks things off with this thought. It's basically a reminder, right? That if you want to truly get a city, you've got to look past the tourist stuff and look into the lives of its people. You got to look for their stories and their unique faces.
Okay, so let's get into it. The story starts during Berlin's very first Freedom Week. You can picture it. It's an official event, packed with conferences, speakers, and these organized talks all about the idea of liberty.
But right off the bat, the author hits us with this fantastic question. He's challenging that whole official buttoned-up idea of freedom. And he invites us to look for something way more real, something he calls Libertad a pie de calle, which translates to freedom at street level.
And this is where we zoom right in. We're going inside a single, totally ordinary subway car. And we're about to see freedom, not as some big political concept, but as a series of these small, really powerful human flashes.
So the first flash of freedom he sees is actually pretty simple, but it says so much. It's a snapshot of a subculture. Just three goths being themselves freely and openly. You have to remember, in a city with a history of forced conformity, this quiet, public act of just being, well, that's its own kind of liberty.
And you can tell he's a journalist because his eye just gravitates to the details. He doesn't just see a group, he sees a person. He clocks the unique jewelry, and then this really peculiar, kind of old-fashioned object she's holding. So what is it?
Well, it turns out to be a Mamiya C220 camera. And this is where a simple observation becomes this really powerful symbol. I mean, think about it. In our super digital world, here's a young woman choosing an analog way to see things. This camera is literally a relic from the time of a divided Berlin, and now it's being used by a new generation in a free city to frame their own world. That's pretty cool. The next flash is completely different. It's just a moment of pure, unself-conscious joy. Somebody completely lost in their own little world, smiling at a message on their phone. It's another one of those quiet but really personal expressions of freedom, the freedom to just feel happy and show it. And the last flash she captures is this incredible mix of cultures. He spots this group of friends, there's a transgender woman, a bearded guy, and their conversation is just flowing back and forth between Italian and Spanish. It's a perfect snapshot of the beautiful, kind of chaotic, wonderful mix that is modern Berlin. It's freedom you can actually see, right there in the easy laughter between people.
Okay, so this is the pivot. The author doesn't just leave us with these nice little observations. He asks the big question. How do these small, personal moments of freedom connect to that much larger, timeless fight between regular people and the powers that try to control them?
So how does he make that connection? Well, the answer comes from a pretty surprising place, a grand historical opera. By what he calls a good coincidence, at the same time Freedom Week is going on, the city's opera house happens to be staging this famous Russian epic. It's a story all about the violent clash between an old world, a new ruler, and all the people caught right in the middle.
And here's the crucial point he makes. In this huge, sweeping opera, the real star isn't the czar or the generals, it's the people, the chorus, the masses. Their voice, their suffering, their fate. That's what actually drives the story. They're the absolute heart of the drama.
And the production makes this stunning, direct link to our world today. The set is actually designed to look like a modern autocrat's office, and it's meant to specifically bring to mind Vladimir Putin. It draws a straight line from the tyranny happening on stage to the very real threats to freedom that are out there right now.
So all of this brings us to the final, really powerful takeaway. It's a conclusion that ties together Berlin's dark past, its incredibly vibrant present, and this responsibility that really all of us share for the future.
The author points out that even though Berlin's skies can be pretty cloudy, the city itself is not a dark place at all. The light of freedom, of hope, of human expression, it's everywhere. You just have to know how to look for it, just like he did on that subway car.
And what's wild is that the city's own mayor, speaking during that same Freedom Week, said almost the exact same thing. He described Berlin not just as a location, but as a symbol, a kind of beacon for what's possible when people choose freedom and hope over division.
And so the author leaves us with a call to action.
Freedom isn't just some concept you talk about in a conference room. It's an active, three-part job. First, you have to know how to look for it, how to see it in the world around you. Second, you have to live it to its absolute fullest. And finally, you have to be willing to fight for it, to protect it for yourself and for everybody else.
So in the end, this whole exploration that started on a Berlin subway ride leads us with a challenge. These small, beautiful, everyday moments of freedom are happening all around us, all the time. The real question the author leaves us with is, are we paying attention? And do we get that those fleeting little moments are actually what we're fighting for?